question would be, a lot of us, the graduate or undergraduate, are you come into the corporate world, nonprofit education, or in the government sector. We'll gain a lot of experiences there, but while we're going through that transition from corporate or wherever sphere we go into the entrepreneurial world, what type of network should we be casting? You made mention of the Black-owned McDonalds Association in Ohio. You talked about reaching out to people who are in the industry that you're looking to go into. But what type of things should we be doing, to kind of create a circle that we would need to be successful?
I think if from working in corporate America and making a transition into entrepreneurship, if it's whatever you think it is that you want to do, find out who's doing that and who's successful at it, and go see if you can work with them unpaid, or just shadow them and learn as much about that business as possible. And when I decided I wanted to go into the McDonald's business, I have friends who own franchises. I used to go work for free with Sam. He told me right off the bat, I'm not going to pay you. But if you want to come here and learn, and that's all I basically wanted to do, to make sure that that was something that I really wanted to do. So I would suggest you find out what it is you want to do and find somebody to be your mentor or you can shadow.
I got a couple of answers for that. One, I would say, whatever industry you're in, try to find whatever the professional association is. Like, for my example, Nesby, since I came from a technical background, I was in Nesby. Even though I wasn't an engineer, I was almost like a few of the non-engineers in Nesby, but I knew Nesby had a big national convention every year. Hundreds of companies come to that convention, and people that was in my industry or companies that had my industry, information systems, they had engineers too, but I went to that convention purposely knowing that all those big companies have all these different departments. I can talk to somebody that will maybe get me a job there. So, I go to till this day, I still go to all industry conventions. I go to CES, it's the big consumer electronics show in Las Vegas. I do that every year. And every year, I get a check out of it some kind of way. I go to E3, it's the biggest video game convention in the US. I go to that. I still go to all these things. Go to music industry networking events. And also, I would say, if you're going to make the transition out of corporate America, at least stay in corporate America long enough to understand how it works and why it works and how to communicate within corporate America. Because I'm not going to front, like, people that work with me that have been through what I call the corporate filter, it's a sense of urgency is there. And like she said, if you tell them to do it, it's going to get done. You don't have to sit there and ask 1,000 times. But that stuff is all, we take it for granted, but that stuff is all learned and taught to you from corporate America. And when you talk to a person that has that, it's like, okay, we click it, boom, 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 boom. And when you talk to somebody that's not, you go off like that, and you're like, man, what's going on? Why this doesn't work for him? But that person may not have been through a real good corporate filter. Like, I worked at IBM, and that's a good filter. I worked at Motorola, I worked at Silicon Graphics, I worked at all these tech companies. And just going through multiple different filters, it really helps. And I didn't learn this until last year.
Yeah, now that I'm sitting on the other side, I have so much appreciation for what I learned when I was in corporate and with state government. I mean, they have these things in place for a reason, and it is every day a new challenge comes up, and I realize that it's something I've already gone through or some experience I've learned from in my corporate or state government experience. So I have so much more appreciation for